Good morning, class of 2020. We are so excited to be entering the 7th week of school. It's kind of crazy to think that you guys aren't brand new to us anymore, that you've had a chance to get to know Fulton and be a part of our culture and our tradition, going to football games and all that great stuff. First, I hope you all enjoyed your first homecoming week. A lot of cool costumes and fun ways to throw back. Different things like that. Really enjoyed seeing what you all came up with. That was fantastic. If you're watching this video, you should be in advisory, so I hope you've had a great day so far. Thankfully, we're in the last push. We've almost knocked this Monday out. I needed to let you know about a couple of things that you may have heard, and also just to be sure that we're all on the same page. We like to give freshmen a little bit of transition time to kind of figure high school out and figure out how we do things. We've kind of had that period, and so as we go forward from here, looking at different things that you need to know about and you need to understand you'll be held accountable for. The great news is that there are 281 people in the freshman class right now. 270 of you are doing it right almost all the time. Very few write-ups, very few things that I'm having to address, which is really, really cool. It means you're staying in class and doing what you need to do. I think your grades are going to reflect that, and I'll have your data soon for the 6-week mark. There are about 11 of you who choose to not always do the right thing, and so we've had some significant discussions and things like that, but on the whole, the class of 2020 is doing a fantastic job. People keep talking about how great the freshmen are, and I'm just like, yeah, I know. A couple of things, though. If you are sent out of ISS, that's pretty serious, because ISS is what we do to keep you from getting any bigger trouble, and it is a consequence. So the only thing you should do when you walk into the ISS room is take your seat and get out some work. If you're doing anything other than that, you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing, and that is problematic. And so if you are put out of ISS, you'll come to the Merlin office, and we do need to suspend you for a day. There's no reason to get put out of ISS. You've made a choice to get put in ISS, and then you've got to get it figured out. For most people, ISS is one block, you're done, you leave, no big deal. But some people think it's playtime or talk time. Remember, if I'm driving down I-40 this afternoon and I'm doing 65, that's okay, that's my choice. I know what the speed limit is, it's 55. So if a cop pulls me over and says, ma'am, that's going to be $109 for that ticket, well, I chose to go over the speed limit. I knew what I was doing. So it kind of sucks, and other people might be going 70, but he caught me doing 65. I was in the wrong. You got to pay up. ISS is kind of the same way. Just because somebody else is talking, somebody else is doing, it doesn't matter. If you're the one put out, you're going to be held accountable for that. The other thing is that we keep having a little bit of trouble with 2 sweeps in a day. If you are swept more than one block, that is also a day out of school. We are not trying to put you out for tardies. We are trying to get you to class on time. So if you are swept first block, you've got to hustle the rest of the day to get to your classes on time. We are getting those lists now, and so it's real easy for us to see when somebody has been tardy twice. So we'll go ahead this week and really be holding you accountable for that. Do not get swept twice in a day. Don't put yourself in a situation where you're like, oh crap, I got swept earlier and now I really have to use the restroom. And then you're in that position. If you hurry and get to class every time, if you have an emergency, it's not the end of the world. And then finally, one of the other consequences that we use when we've tried ISS or done some other things is after school detention. We have that in place now. You will be assigned that. You'll be given at least 24 hours notice of when you have after school detention if you make choices that get you that consequence. It is also a situation where you have a 1-day out of school suspension if you choose to skip. And so that happens pretty rarely. Most people just go and serve their time and they're done, and it's, again, not a huge deal. Keep in mind that the more write-ups you get, the stiffer the consequences get. And so the idea is that if you have, your first write-up, which, maybe a block of ISS, depending on what you've done, but that gets on up. And so as you all start building referrals, those of you who are getting referrals right now, which again is very few of the freshmen, just understanding that as you go through that process, that the consequences get stronger each time. Positive referrals, though, are helpful to you. If you've got a negative referral and a positive referral, well, that's kind of we'll work with you a little bit if you're doing some things right, but if you make a mistake, we'll work with you. teachers are doing a great job writing those positive referrals. We've got a stack of them we need to get to this week, so I'm hoping that gets done. I think that's about it. You guys are doing a fantastic job. We got to get to class on time. We got to not get distracted by little things. Be mindful of your cafeteria behavior. We can always tighten up cafeteria if we need to, but we'd like to give you all the freedom to keep eating outside and do things like that when the weather actually maybe cools down. Believe it or not, we are supposed to be in fall. It is not supposed to be 95 degrees out. But anyway, that's enough of me. This video is very awkward, and I do not like seeing myself on camera. So I'm going to shut up talking, and you guys are going to get on about your day. I hope you have a great afternoon, and I will see you either this afternoon or sometime in the morning. Go Falcons!